Jihad at the first level. Then we come to the second level, and that is the ideological warfare. If you believe in Iman, there are people who believe in Kufr. If you believe in Tawheed, there are people who believe in Shirk. If you believe in Islam, there are people who think that the communist theory is more correct and the socialist system is more justful and just. So there are ideologies. You are not in a vacuum. So you have to resist. You have to fight out at the ideological level. And that is, you have to propagate your ideology. You have to propagate and convey the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the humanity. You have to call the people to the path of Allah. So these two words, please note. Dawah and tabligh. What is tabligh? In tabligh, you reach out to the people to convey to them the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in dawah, you call them to the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So actually, tabligh and dawah, they are the two sides of the same process. You reach out to convey the message, it is tabligh. You call them, bring them to the fold of Islam, to the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ud'u ila Sabeel-lillah bil hikmah wal mau'izatil hasanah wajadilu billati ahsan. Now here, as I told you, because people have their own ideologies, so there is going to be a confrontation between the ideologies. And this is the second level of Jihad fi Sabeel-lillah. And you know, this has again three sub-levels. At the top is bil hikmah. In every society there are some people who are intellectuals. They won't listen to sermons. They want arguments. They have their own ideologies, their own thought. It must be proved to them that their ideologies are false. Their thinking is wrong. Their ideas are not sound. You have to prove it. So actually, with dalil, with hikmah, with burhan, Quran, you know, invites and calls the others. You prove your point. If you have any burhan, come with it. Come forward with it. Qul hatu burhanakum in kuntum sadiqin. If you demand burhan from others, others have also the right to demand burhan from you. So the highest level of tabligh and dawah is at the intellectual level. You must have sound arguments, and you must be able to communicate at the highest intellectual level of this society. Unless you have the same, frequency, and you are speaking at the same level, you will not be able to communicate to the intelligentsia, to the intellectuals in that society. And unless the intelligentsia or the intellectuals or the brain trust of a society is converted to Iman, the society as a whole will never be converted. You will be able to convert individuals only through sermon. But unless you convert the brain trust of that society, the think tank of that society, the intellectuals of that society, you won't be able to convert the society, to change the society as a whole. And if you want to establish the deen of Allah, you have to change the society, the social order as a whole. Let me give here an example, a simile. In human body, weighing, how many kilograms, 100 kilograms and so on. But there is brain here. Very small thing. Maybe 1 kilogram, that's all. But it is controlling the body. Your hands can hold something. Your feet can take you to some place, your legs. But where to go, where not to go is decided here. This thing should be held and this should not be touched. It is snake, don't touch it. No, it's wood, you can have it. The decision is made here, not by the hands. So these organs, the whole of the body, is controlled from here. In the same way, human society behaves as a living organism. It has its own arms and legs and feet and hands, but it has its brain. That we call the brain trust of the society. And unless you convert that brain trust of the society to Iman, to your ideology, the society as a whole will not be converted. So that is the importance. That is why Quran is mentioned at the top. Ud'u ila Sabeel-lillah bil hikmah. And the second level is wal mau'izatil hasanah. common people, masses, because they don't have any philosophies in their minds. So they are like clean slates. You can write anything on them. But if there is something written already, you have to wipe it out. So in those intellectuals' minds, something is already ingrained. You have to remove it, and then only you will be able to write something. But in common people, al-mau'izatul hasana, udu ila sabil rabbika bil hikmati wal mau'izatil hasana. Good sermon. There is a saying in Persian, as dil khezat bar dil rezat. If something is coming from your heart, it will reach the heart of the person to whom you are talking. But provided there are no mental barriers in between you. If there are mental barriers, if you have some philosophies, then you have to pierce those barriers to reach his heart. And that is, what I discussed, that the highest level is with hikmah. But where there are no barriers, it's like a clean slate. Only sincerity is needed. And the second thing which is needed is, you must be practicing what you are preaching. These two conditions if you fulfill, common people, masses, they will accept the advice. This is called Mu'izatul Hasana. Good advice, good sermon, good words. And the third level is, you have to fight out and confront in argument those who are misleading the people. The munazara and mujadala, jadilum billati ahsan. There are Christian missionaries trained for this work. There are Qadiani missionaries. They are trained. Special training is given to them. And a common Muslim cannot argue with them. Even an alim, a common alim, he cannot argue with a Qadiani muballigh, because he has been trained specially, given special instructions. So you have to fight them out at their own level. You have to meet them in their own elements. And that is mujadala or munazara. But the word in Quran is only mujadala, not munazara. Commonly we use the word munazara. This is also required. Just as Shaykh Ahmed is doing with the Christians. In the same way, people have been confronting the Arya Samajis in India. And there was a time, the Arya Samajis were sweeping, and unless there were some Muslims who could, argue with them and defeat them in munazara, it might have happened that many Muslims would have converted to Hinduism. And there was the threat, you must be knowing, that in the last century, the last part of the 19th century, when we became slaves to the Britishers, then there was a raid, ideological raid of the Christian missionaries. And there was one, Father Fender. He started, doing munazara with the ulama of Islam from Calcutta. He reached Delhi. In every town he defeated all the ulama, because the ulama were not prepared for munazara. The ulama had never studied Bible, and he had studied Quran thoroughly. So they were very unequal. Then standing on the stairs of the Jame Masjid of Delhi, he declared an open declaration, an open ultimatum to any alim throughout India. Let him come and confront me in munazara. No, it was a very critical moment. Had there been no person to confront him and defeat him, what would have happened? The general masses, Muslim masses, they would have thought, we are defeated. We are defeated physically also. We have become slaves. And we have been defeated religiously also, because our ulama couldn't confront this person. But there is a very beautiful couplet from Allama Iqbal. खून इस्राइल आ जाता है आखिर जोश में, तोड़ देता है कोई मूसा